I've chosen to look at the world as something that I can take. I can take on any challenge and anything. And that's the very same approach that needs to be applied to yourself. What does the path look like? The path is defined by the individual who chooses to define the path. So, what does your path look like? How do you plan a life that you're really going to want for yourself? Or how do you plan a path that you really want for yourself and you really enjoy? It starts with how you're going to view the world, making this change. And it's more than just mindset. It's truly getting a brand new set of eyeballs. You know what I mean? And trust me when I tell you, you still have the same old ones in your socket. You're really fighting a mind game, but you're also using your eyes to see something outside of yourself, to see what you are and what you can be. As you all know or should know, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'm currently unemployed. Through this time, I've chosen to sit back. I'm going to focus more on the tasks that I really enjoy in my life right now. Making YouTube videos, doing my own things to build myself as a person, build my brand. When I sit back and I think about what the path looked like on my way to this point, I was in this space of, I need to get a job. I need some kind of security that will make me feel safe, make me feel protected, and then I can go back to building up my dreams or my empire or whatever as that security or stability essentially comes back into my life. I look back and I think about what was my mindset going into those situations, leaving a job or the season ending, and then I'm back to scurrying and scrambling for some kind of work so I could stay afloat. I realized that I was under a lot of stress in the efforts to run to another job for the very same outcome. That made me think about where I am today. What does my path look like now? Being realistic about what you want to achieve and how it can be done is the most important thing. I think my path is relatively clear, or something like that. That's the best way to put it. I'm not opposed to letting it be like that. I have clear goals for what it is that I want to do and achieve, and I have a clear place where I want to be, where I want to feel comfortable enough to focus solely on my business. And those are milestones that I've yet to achieve, but where is it now? You know what I mean? Because when you're defining the path, you're defining the path for a short and a long period of time, or at least you should. You should be thinking about the long term as well as focusing on the short term. Taking that step back and looking at things from the mindset of everything has worked itself out. I have the utmost faith that things are going to work for the best of my favor, or I'm in this transitionary period of simply moving upward, not only in one area of my life as far as a career, but in various areas of my life based on what it is that I'm choosing to do now. I'm realizing for the most part, that's truly where I am in defining my path, or trying to really figure out what it looks like. I had some stuff that I wrote down in like 2020 about things that I wanted to get done in 5 years. It wasn't like a lot of goals, but it was a reasonable amount that were obtainable with the right amount of time and effort. They were things that I wrote down on my path of, again, a job security, it from the previous form of unemployment. But now I've already decided what it is that I wanted to do before the unemployment happened. I'm starting to see like things are going to continue to unravel in a way for you as you continue to lay smaller things down as you walk your path. I want you to look at your life and ask yourself, what does my path currently look like? Have I been focusing on scurrying to get to the next thing to have some sense of false security to then rebuild, or to simply just believe that everything will work and you continue to build on top of that? And by no means am I saying this in the sense of you're not necessarily building your path, looking at things only through this lens of fear, but what could be holding you back from what it is that you truly want to accomplish? What is it that has you looking at your path and saying, I should do better or should focus on receiving better? Or just stepping back and saying, how is it that I can move through this point in time and really define my path for what I want it to be? How can I make this period of my life more positive? Because losing a job isn't necessarily the worst thing. It's bad, but it's not the worst thing. But also, it's a great place to collect your thoughts. And for me, I know when I was going through that time of unemployment prior to this point, that's where I was. What defining my path looked like then was get to the next job, put in the next application so I can get a job, get in, and then start getting my money back up, right? But now that I've made it to that point of I had a job, I had the stability, I gave myself the path, I walked the path, completed it. What is it that I've learned from that mindset to where I am now? What have you learned from your life as you've gone through the path you've set for yourself? What do you want? What is it that you want in this time? And what do you want to change about this next season for you to redefine your path or remap your path? How you see the world is really going to shape what will take place. I'm in a space in my life where I'm learning to work on getting rid of my negative thoughts, getting rid of my limiting beliefs. We should say, right? Truly define what it is that you want on your path through life. What is it that I want, that I could obtain, that I truly would like to do with myself? What is it? And how do I place my daily actions and habits into making that become my reality? So, what does the path really look like? How do you get there? What must you do? Sometimes, in situations like mine where everything's pretty much undefined, you take your time. And I would say, in all situations, take your time. Take your time to map out your thoughts. Take your time to collect yourself. Look back on your experiences. Sometimes you won't have experiences to compare them to, but maybe as someone else. Most importantly, trust yourself. Trust your decision that you're going to do what you believe is best for yourself in the time, because that is all that you can do. Tell me, what does your path look like? Where do you think improvements could be made in your own thinking for the path to change? Drop me a comment about what you think about today's episode. But thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.